Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Bad Ideas Garage. My name is Steven and with me today is a 2021 Volvo Polestar 2. This is the first fully electric vehicle under the Polestar name, which is a sub-brand of Volvo. Volvo was purchased by Geely, the Chinese company, in 2010, and then in 2015, the Polestar brand was bought by Volvo as well. And then they came out with the Polestar 1, which is a hybrid, and then they came out with this in 2020 called the Polestar 2. If you're considering purchasing an electric vehicle, you should definitely test drive the Polestar 2. It is absolutely wonderful, and in today's video, I'm going to go over why that's the case. I'll go over the features of the vehicle and give an overall review of the car. As always, we appreciate you watching our videos. Please like and subscribe if you want to see some more reviews of these vehicles. I have some fun projects, including this Pontiac with a folding hardtop coming up, a Porsche 924 that we picked up, and of course the Subaru Justy with the D16 swap. All of those videos are coming out, including a couple of how-to videos as well. So please like and subscribe below. We appreciate your support. Hope you enjoy. Surprise! Approximately 5% of Americans are now purchasing electric vehicles. So if you're in the market for one, consider the Polestar 2. This particular Polestar 2 that I'm driving today has approximately 400 horsepower. It is the long-range all-wheel drive version. It has approximately 250 miles of range and it weighs 4,700 pounds, which sounds like a lot, but it doesn't really feel like it. In the global car market, SUVs are absolutely everything, and a lot of car companies are making lots of different versions that are just slightly off in terms of their dimensions, and they're making a lot of money doing it. And so I really like this vehicle is because it's not really an SUV. Some of the body cladding and the design make it seem like it's a little bit more of a rugged feel, but it's a hatchback, it's a fastback, and I really like that that's the case because it breaks the mold from every other vehicle that's out there. I absolutely love the way that this looks as well. Inside and out, it has that really authentic Volvo feel to it. Now, I've owned a couple of Volvos in my life. I had a couple of 850s, a couple of 240s. I haven't owned anything modern. I tried to stay away from them because I've heard horror stories, and so I've been out of the Volvo scene for a little bit. But I have to say that this is absolutely intriguing, so much to the point that I might even consider purchasing this car if I was in the car market. No, I love my Mazda. I'm going to keep it forever. But if I was looking for a car, I would really consider this because it's an incredible deal. Now, Polestar 2 is about $48,000 to $55,000, depending on how you configure it. You can go to the website and take a look. It's really simple, and I really like that there aren't really a lot of options just because it comes heavily optioned from the factory. The real big option that you can decide is if you want to get the 230 horsepower two-wheel drive version or if you want to get the 400 horsepower all-wheel drive version. You do get a little bit more range with the two-wheel drive version, but you only get 230 horsepower, and the 0 to 60 is about 7 seconds, which is more than enough for the majority of people. But I honestly would get this because the performance really is phenomenal, and we're going to go on a drive in a little bit. So I know that $50,000 sounds like a lot for a car, but if you consider that about $43,000 is the average price of a new vehicle sold in the US today, this is not that much far off of it. And because Polestar and Volvo is an upscale brand, I really think that this is a good deal for what you get. So the way that the seat is pretty flat comparatively to where my legs are, and I know that this is completely adjustable, but it actually only goes down farther. But that actually makes it feel like it's much more of a car experience more than an SUV experience. Again, everyone drives an SUV that you like to sit up tall or whatever. You think you have a nice vantage point in the vehicle because it seems like it has really nice ground clearance. But at the same time, this definitely drives a lot like a car, which I personally like. And then the visibility in this, even with the big pillars with the fastback design, you can see out of this really, really well. The mirrors are really nice. The only complaint is when I'm looking in this mirror, it kind of comes to a boat tail in the back to make it kind of hard to see out of that, but it's got really nice mirrors on the side to be able to see anyways. So when you get into the car with the key, it immediately recognizes that you're here and it tells you what your range is, your state of charge, etc. The only cheap materials that I could probably feel in this entire thing might be this. Even this is, they feel okay. Comparatively to everything else, just all of these materials, it just is absolutely wonderful and stunning how nice this interior is. Even the thunk of the door seems very, very strong. everything is covered in a nice fabric, which is just, it's just wonderful. Actually, one weird complaint about this is that when the door's all the way out like this, I know you're probably supposed to grab this. It just kind of seems really awkward. I find myself grabbing this. Anyway, so you have seat memory, and then, of course, your power, mirrors, doors, locks, etc. You have your adaptive cruise control, can be set right here. You have your voice command, and then a couple of things to be able to change the screen around. You have your headlight control over here. Pretty standard stuff. You have your opener for the trunk right there, dimmer switch, a couple of HVAC controls. Over here is where you have your windshield wiper, stock, etc. It's just, this is a very, very nice place to be. This seating material is really, really nice and seems like it's really durable. And again, this it has this little Alcantara insert. It's just a really nice place to be, and I'm really impressed. Right here, this is your shifter. It took me a second to be able to figure out what this is and how to go about it, but I love that the Polestar symbol is right there. But it's pretty easy. You just pull down and you're in drive. It takes a second to think and like, oh, okay, you're all ready to go. It's currently telling me that my seatbelt needs to be put on, so I'll go ahead and do that. And then if you want to go into reverse, it's just to push up like that. And then the mirrors will move. Both of them actually move down, and then it'll show you that you're in reverse, which is pretty cool. And you have this reversing camera that's pretty nice. It's not the best quality that I've seen, and it's a little dirty. The car's a little bit dirty, but it's pretty nice. And then you have, this is your proximity sensor. So if you're getting close to something, it'll actually light up to tell you that it's close to something. And then when you're all done, you just press the P button, and then it automatically puts on what I assume is electronic parking brake that I can hear from behind. So I really like the infotainment system in this, and I know that there's a little bit of glare there, but this is just about the best that I can do with the sun going down here in Oregon. So it's not overwhelming, it's not too bright, and everything is really easily seen. The buttons are very responsive, etc. So this had some really cool technology. It's the first car with Google Assistant built in, which is pretty cool. It has a couple other apps in here to help extend your range. There's, of course, things like Sirius satellite radio, but it's actually built into the car rather than just running off your phone. So I know that some car companies are even considering getting rid of GPS because a lot of people just plug in with Apple CarPlay, which of course this car has, but it does have its own, couple apps here to help things like, oh, okay, you're driving too quickly, your climate control is stealing too much of your range, etc. I really like that butt warmers right here, very easy, very, very clean, easy to turn them on, turn them off. I really like that because here in Oregon, I run my butt warmers all the time. Right here in front, there's a nice little cubby that has some nice spacing. There's 2 USB-C ports. There's a physical button right here to be able to turn on and off the radio, just in case you want to be able to do that without having to search through a screen. It's all very clean, and I love just how big everything is on these icons, etc. Let me see here. In terms of drive modes and what it can do, there is a steering control where you can have a steering feel of light, standard, or firm. I played with all of them. I'd probably just leave it in standard. It's not too much of a difference, but you can certainly tell. You can turn off the traction control here if you want, but I'd probably leave it on, especially if you have the 2-wheel drive version of this. The creeping feature, so in a gasoline car, when you take your foot off the brake, it starts to move a little bit if you're like in traffic. You can actually turn that on and off in here, and I turn it off, and then one pedal driving, so when you take your foot off the accelerator, it'll start to kick in the regen. I have that on standard, which is pretty aggressive, and if it's too aggressive for you and you just want a little bit of regen when you take your foot off the accelerator, you can do that by just switching over to low, or you can even turn it off. In terms of assistance, so this has adaptive cruise control that you can turn on and off from here. There's lane keeping technology that you can turn on. All right, so it looks like that the options give you to override your steering to help keep you in the lane, which I felt it do that, or it can vibrate to tell you, hey, you're not in your lane anymore. What else? A driver alert system. So this will start to, this will actually vibrate to let you know that you need to wake up, which is pretty cool. I'm actually not quite sure where the camera is in here, but it's somewhere. It'll read road signs. This has, let me see here, standard avoid. Okay, so it has a collision avoidance system. So my Mazda, for example, will actually come to a stop if you think it's about to get into an accident. This one it gives you either early, standard, or late. So I guess if you want to roll the dice a little bit more, you can move it to late. Let's go take a look at that frunk, and then let's go ahead and go on a drive. All right, just like you would see in a regular vehicle. Okay, do not drive. We are going to go investigate the frunk. All right, so conveniently located. Okay, so windshield wiper fluid. Don't really see anything else. It's not my car, so I'm not going to take any of that off, but you have a jack. Looks like you have a power adapter. Okay, there you go. What else do we have in here? Tire inflator kit. Yeah, tire inflator, tire patching kit. Okay, so yeah, no standard spare in here, but yeah, this is what your frunk looks like, a little bit of storage space. Although I read that a lot of people don't actually use their frunk whatsoever, but here, there's a little frunk if you want to have some stuff stored in the front of your car and you want to be able to use the word frunk in your standard everyday vernacular. While we're back here, why don't we go ahead and get into the trunk. So here's the key. It just has the Polestar symbol on it. So you have the lock and the unlock, and there is the, let me see here. There it goes. Okay. Alrighty. Well, that's fancy. Okay. So back here, you have your tether points for car seats. It's really helpful, especially because, you know, I'm a dad. What we have down here. That's cool. Okay, that's really handy for storage. I've never been back here before, and so this is all new to me. Okay, let's see what's down here. All right, so here is your, what I'm assuming is your level 1 charger. But yeah, pretty simple down here. All right, so it looks like the only pass-through are the cup holders. You can see the cup holders there. All right, so that's what your pass-through looks like. There you go. Or I wonder if this whole thing will go down. Yeah? Ah, okay, so everything will go down. That's awesome. All right, so I'm just going to press, that's pretty cool. You can lock it, or you can just press it down. Okay. Awesome. All right, also while we're out here, the charge door. So, and then of course you have your CCS SAE charger right here. This light will indicate depending on if you're charging, if you're not charging. So that's really helpful just to make sure that you know that it's plugged in. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop in here. All right, so the fastback pillar here, I guess kind of feels like it might be a little constraining. I'm 6 feet tall. I have more than enough leg room. So with the way that this comes down, this design element right here in the fastback, my head does kind of touch the top here a little bit if I'm sitting up really tall, but my leg room feels really good. Even with the seat down right here, I have more than enough space. This has the panoramic roof, so it does make it feel like it's a lot bigger back here than it really is dimensionally. But all the materials back here are just phenomenal. All the touch points are really nice, and I think I could probably road trip back here. I really like that you have your own climate control vents. You have butt warmers back here. There's a charge port. Okay, so those USB-C charge ports, but it's just very nice. The materials are really nice back here. All right, so I'm going to do, it is a little wet now. I'm just gonna do a full throttle acceleration, and on a closed course, this is actually a private road. And yeah, let's see how this does. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, 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 wow, wow, okay. We're gonna try this again. Got a little bit of a turn to get onto the straight, but here we go. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. This is just wild. Ooh, nice tight. Last time I was in here was in the Hellcat, and I could not do this. I had to do like a 3-point turn. This car, no big deal. Full crank, barely off the road. Okay. Oh my gosh. I cannot describe what that's like. I'm actually feeling a little ill. I get a little car sick when I'm the passenger, but not when I'm a driver. My other time actually was in the Tesla Model S, an early production one, when I did full throttle acceleration, that I actually felt sick as the driver. But this is nuts. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one more time, and then I'm actually gonna slow down because we have a little bit of a turn before we get into our parking lot. And yeah, here we go. One, and I'm gonna do brake torque. So I'm gonna put my foot on the brake, and then I'm going to put the throttle down. Oh! This is fast. Okay, I'm gonna slow down a little bit. Those brakes are okay, and then nice turn in, very nice turn in. I cannot describe what that's like. Okay, I'm actually feeling a little ill, so we're gonna park it for a second. Okay, I'm driving the Polestar 2 for the very first time, and when I hopped in the car, it recognized that I had the key in the ignition, and then everything turned on. It took me a second to figure out where the radio was, but everything seems to be in a pretty logical spot. The seat is really easy to get to where it needs to be. It says I have 96% charge and 240 miles. So I'm going to go pressing the brake just like a regular car, and then press this, pull this down. No, that's neutral. That's drive. Back, okay. And then the parking brake went off automatically. My nice camera here. Looking both ways, Unless there's something I'm missing. I had to put my foot down quite a bit for this to move. I don't know, most of the other electric cars that I've ever driven, I mean, it's got a really touchy accelerator pedal. This one I had to put my foot down. I mean, it's a 25 and I'm doing 25, but still I was expecting to have a little bit more pep. That's a really, really interesting observation. Okay, and then when you put your foot down, okay, it goes. Yeah, like my Spark EV, if you saw that video, I mean, that thing had the most touchy throttle, and honestly, I love it. I've driven a couple of Teslas, and this one feels more like a heavy accelerated pedal, like you'd feel in my Mercedes, for example, the C43 AMG Ute. I feel like that. So that's our review of this Volvo Polestar 2. Volvo makes a really good and luxurious car. I just haven't been driving them in a very long time because of the horror stories that I heard. However, it seems like with this, they've really got things dialed in. So if you're looking for an electric vehicle, definitely drive the Polestar 2. I think you'll be very impressed. Now that's another episode of the Bad Ideas Garage. We really appreciate your support. If you'd like and subscribe below, I'd appreciate it because we are almost to 1,000 subscribers, and that's going to be a really cool day for us. We got some really cool videos coming up. We have the D16 Honda swap going into a Subaru Justy that should be running and driving soon. We have the 1982 Porsche 924 that my wife acquired after I owned it for approximately 28 minutes. The Pontiac G6 convertible hardtop finally has a functional system where it goes up and down, and it doesn't yell at you when you drive, which is a really nice thing. We have a couple of how-to videos coming up as well, all on the Bad Ideas Garage. So please like and subscribe below. We always appreciate your support, and we'll catch you next time.